For the first time in almost 30 years, there will be a new face in Congress representing Northern Alameda County. Lateefah Simon has been elected to represent California's 12th Congressional District, and that new face joins me now. Ms. Simon, thank you so much for doing this, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so humbled, so ready to go.
She told me during a break a moment ago that she is packing, so I guess it's beginning to sink in. Tell us, first of all, what some of your first priorities will be once you get going.
You know, we're hitting the ground running. I'm going into freshman orientation, ready to meet my colleagues in the freshman class. I am being sent to Congress from the 12th Congressional to lead, not just to sit there. We have, you know, really to make a big storm coming in this very difficult and polarized environment. A couple of things, you know, equitable and well-funded transit is a priority of mine. As many folks know, I am a transit-dependent person. The Bay Area is an amazing place to live. We need a transit system that is well-resourced. Public safety is on the mind of each and every constituent, you know, in my district. So pushing for resources in this new administration to bring back home for comprehensive public safety opportunities, and, you know, clearly housing and the access and affordability for folks to be able to have a place to stay, both folks in our middle class, folks who are working folks, and then our folks who are sleeping on the streets. Look, there are bills that have been, you know, that will be orphaned by many folks who are leaving the Congress that need to be pushed through. I'm a uniter. I always have been. I'm going to be working across the aisle and with my party. These are the basics that every American deserves, and we're ready to go.
So I always ask, what is the future of the party that loses the presidency? Do its members simply regroup? Do they work harder next time? Or does the party need to consider a fundamental change in message or approach? What do you think?
You know, our party, we've learned a lot. But again, the fundamental values of a woman's rights to choose, fundamental, that folks deserve health care that they can afford, that folks deserve, there should be a right to housing and safe communities. I think those values are concrete values that we have to hold on to. Sure, we're going to have to learn a lot working in an environment where I don't believe we have the Senate, and we sure don't have the White House. But look, the map. The United States spoke, and we need to be able to speak to them clearly so that we're articulating our values and what we're fighting for in ways that folks can appreciate. Clearly, we have to sit down and have a conversation as a party, because I continuously will believe that what we're asking for, our folks want. Many folks cross-party want the same thing. We want safe schools. We want good health care. It's how we get it. It's the strategy and the tactics. But again, I'm going there to not push ideology, but simply to get the job done. So that means having hard conversations and building new relationships with unlikely allies. I got to do it. We need the resources here.
And to find common ground. You touched on this, but as you know, the polling indicated that an awful lot of people were saying the country is not headed in the right direction, a lot of people sounding very pessimistic. How do our elected leaders take on that message in some way?
You know, we're Californians. The California delegation, which I am now joining, we are going to lead hope. I am going to lead with hope. I have for 30 years worked for folks who have been homeless, families who have been searching for new opportunities, for migrants and refugees who believe in the promise of America, folks who have had so much resilience and still feel like government does not speak to and for them. I get it. You know, $6 eggs. And in the Bay Area alone, you know, almost $3,000 for a 2-bedroom for a family working 3 or 4 jobs. They still can't afford it. These are real issues. And I am going to Congress to champion those issues. Listen, members from the Republican Party, I've spoken with a few. Again, we have different strategies and tactics, but we all want so much of the same for our folks. That's what it is, and we're going to keep fighting.
So Congresswoman Barbara Lee, of course, has been described as your mentor. Of course, you have her support. What do you take, if anything, of her support, her advice, as you take office?
Miss Lee and I, Congresswoman Lee and I were together last night, and she will be a mentor for me. I'm hoping for the days, weeks, months, and years to come. She was my college professor. She said something to me, actually, when I was a student of hers at Mills College. Leading is about leading. And sometimes you'll have to stand on the corner by yourself, on the side of the curb, knowing that you have the values and the moral courage to do what's right and not just flock to the center. So for me, that means, calling for a peaceful world. It means championing a woman's rights to choose. It means, as she has done, work across the aisle, but work with a grace and an intellect that is worthy of this position. I'm so proud to be able to follow her example, and she's giving me her desk, which is such an honor. So I have a lot to work up to, but I'm ready to go, and I'm going to do what it takes to meet even just the beginnings of the legacy of Ron Dellums and Miss Barbara Lee.
I notice, I'm sure you have too, that her name's being floated as Oakland mayor. I don't know if she has any interest in that, but you just saw her. Any reaction to that? Have you talked to her about that?
We were at a gathering last night of her constituents, and when we were done with our public conversation, there was immediate chanting, "Lee for mayor." And with that great smile of hers, she just gave us sort of a little smirk. I believe that the Congresswoman deserves some time to rest after serving this great state and our nation for almost 50 years. But whatever she decides to do, I think folks know that I'll be cheering her on.
A final question. A lot of people still talking about the much-touted gender gap in this election, Ms. Simon, which didn't really seem to materialize. Any thoughts on why not?
Well, I will say that Barbara Lee was the only departing woman of the United States Congress in California who supported and mentored her successor. So, outside, the freshman class, there are women, and I belong to an organization called Emerge, which is an organization that trains women to run for office. We just got to keep building those infrastructures. Look, I'm a single mom. I'm a widowed mom. It's not easy campaigning. It's not easy thinking about moving my kid across the country. But there is a network of women, of folk who keep pushing the wind at our backs, saying you can do it. We have to be able to speak for these communities. We know what it means not to be able to buy groceries at the end of the week, or when childcare is too expensive, or when you're on a housing list for 6 years. We're going to close that gender gap. I was very weary in the last couple of days, but I worked for Kamala Harris for years. And you know what she used to say? Lateefah, when things get hard, shoulders back, chin up, roll up your sleeves. And that's what we're going to do.
So, Ms. Simon, Congresswoman-elect Simon, that's sinking in, I hope. Congratulations. Congratulations. And it was very gracious of you to give us this time. And I know we'll be talking to you, I trust, a lot in coming days and weeks. So thank you so much for doing this.
I hope so. I love the Bay Area. Thank you all so much. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.